The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program, and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Well, hello. Welcome to Spindle City Straight Talk. I'm Chip.
And I'm CJ.
And boy, have we got a show for you today. Fasten your seatbelts. We got a ton of stuff to talk about today.
And it's going to slam them hard.
That's it. But we might as well start by talking about our wonderful legislators. For most of you who have been watching the news know that Senate President Rosenberg has resigned after a scathing report. And the Greater Fall River legislators were asked to react, and it's really comical because, you know, they're so paranoid about upsetting leadership over there. None of them take any kind. They can't say. The only one that actually said something a little bit was Carol Fialo, who said, this is a Senate issue, not a House issue. So immediately she evades the issue by saying that. But it does erode the public trust. Really? How much trust do you think that the public has in you guys? And then it says it's extremely disturbing. It's a sad day. Well, you know, I mean, every day up there is a sad day because all you guys do is give yourself pay raises and not give the poor working people a tax holiday. So, you know.
Well, and this is true. And the problem is that, you know, the governor asked for Rosenberg's resignation. Haley asked for the resignation after that ethics report. And it didn't find him guilty of any formal rules. But they said that he was negligent.
We remember one thing. Our other legislators basically had, one wasn't reached for comment, Alan Silver, and of course, Mr. Schmid said at this point, I don't know all the facts. Well, there's a 77-page report. Apparently, you didn't take the time to read it. But basically, what you're doing is evading the decision. But remember one thing, because they are correct. If you lie to the government, it's a felony. If they lie to you, it's politics.
That's right.
So that's the difference. So, you know, it's not surprising, but like we always tell you, this is why you've got to vote people out that don't protect you as a taxpayer and do everything for themselves and nothing for the taxpayer. And you can read about this. You know, you know, the Herald News put a few articles, one about the scathing report, and again. Our delegation is sitting on the fence so much they got to pick it where the sun doesn't shine. So, I guess we've got this. Now we get into the real meat and potatoes here.
Well, before you do that, I just want people to realize that Whirlpool, who bought American Dryer, has now cut the ribbon for a $35 million Fall River project. Yeah. I guess we're going to have some nice times over there because now Whirlpool is going to be basing manufacturing right out of Fall River. So we lose one company, Lightalier, and we got Whirlpool working out now so at least there'll be some jobs.
Well, you talked about jobs. I've got to hit that because I had to.
And that's why I did this. We're going to lead right into a job.
Because if you watch the news, Channel 10, Channel 12 had it. 1,300 jobs at Electric Boat. Yep. Coming up. And why? What have we been talking about for 5 years on this show? About combining apprenticeship programs. They're going to get 1,300 real jobs because they got a new class of nuclear subs they're building. But how are they doing this? They're going to take some people in Rhode Island and train them. Apprenticeship programs and train them so they can get into it so it's not just an entry-level position. We've been talking about this. They gave him a $20 million tax break, and actually Channel 10 is investigating why a company that made like $284 billion last year needs a tax break. But the thing is, we've talked a lot about, you know, they always talk about unemployment in this city, and what they do is they spend a lot of money doing nothing because the reason you can't get employed is you need greater job skills. We've said this before. There are 10 million jobs in the United States going unfilled because of lack of training. You got to train people to do the job. And with that, we can segue into, in Fall River, if you know the mayor, you get a job if you don't know anything. So
exactly.
So we've got a guest today And we're going to introduce her because she has to come on the show because she is directly affected by what we're going to cover. And I'd like to introduce Mary Jo Oliveira. Welcome to our show.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate. I'm so glad to be here because a lot of things I'm doing in this city, it's not right. Special when you are not American born, you are green on like other people call you. But we're green on smart because we came to America 9 months later, we bought your first house. Now with the money, we work in the city, but the money we bring from the old country here. You bring 5 kids, and God give you 1 more. You raise 6 kids in the city. And these 6 kids, one she's a teacher in UMass Dartmouth, one she's a big people in a bank in Newport. She buys and sells the money. I have a son who has a big business in Rehoboth. He has his own business. He fixes all kind of cars. His specialty and more involves. I have another daughter. She's here in BCC to take nurse, and she works also in UMass Dartmouth. I have another one work for so many years and payroll for the people who do dialysis. And my youngest son, he started working at UMass Dartmouth. He made a mistake, get out. He worked 2 weeks for the city of Fall River in the Parks Department. He don't agree with the balloon he was going there, and the people comment negative things, special about my husband, because my husband is a green on, but he has a school. He attends school in Foxborough when he came to America. He worked 3 years to raise our kids. He worked night shift. I worked day shift. I worked 25 years in a factory, Centauri Manufacturing in the Wall Street. That I'm not ashamed. I have good education from Azores, but over here you have to go to college to have your degree. But my kids was my priority and give them roof under the Reds. This is where I got them to school to be admitted in school, for all of them to be graduate, attend college, and have such good jobs in the city. Green-ons come from the old country, but all after 5 years I'm in America. After 3 months I learn how to speak English, and I take my citizenship. And I vote since 1980. So after that, me and my husband, we worked together. When my husband and my kids went all 6 to school, my husband used to work in Foxborough Company. I told him, you need to change turns now because all the kids in school. We worked together 23 years in a factory. After our factory closed with sadness, I went to talk personally with Mayor Lambert, because Mayor Lambert knew me, because at the time he was running for mayor, I was helping Katie Ann Vivera as a woman, because I believe in women to have such positions, to be a mayor. But he beat her for 1,000 and some votes. So we started to be friends. When the factory closed, I went to talk to him. I told him, Mayor Lambert, do you have any open position in public works to give to my husband? Do you know we have 6 kids, most of our kids are in college with a lot of expenses. We have a mortgage, and we have our car. He needs a job. And 2 weeks later, but my husband has the application since John Mitchell. All the people know with John Mitchell when the mayor. My husband went, fed up a paper to have a public work job. So Mayor Lambert went, and he needs people, and that time was for Oak Grove Cemetery. And 17 years, April 2nd, Abel, my husband, went to work for Oak Grove Cemetery. Since then, Mayor Lambert put him for supervisor because he knows how to cut trees, he knows how to cut open graves, he knows how to work any machine, any equipment, do anything a human being smart can do, and consciously. This 17 years, my husband have 2,000 hours, never takes sick time because he's healthy, and always his priority was to have the job with good appearance, the cemetery, all the grass cut, the stone stream, to make foundations. Last week, he made 23 foundations with the cement for the people who already buy the place to put the stones. And of the son, and 2 years ago, Tom Weedy used to be my husband's big boss. He left. After that, the mayor sent Nancy Smith to take care. Nancy Smith, when arrived there, a very honest woman. She's a big boss in the park. She told my husband, I don't know how to open graves. I don't know how to measure graves to cut. I don't know nothing about the cemetery, but if you help me, I will take care and help you too. She was there for a little time. After sun, all junk, vases, brick, make out of cement from more than 100 years ago, 50 years ago. Linda Pereira used to be a city council, put his name on, went to the television, went to the journal, take pictures. He said it was evaluation things. Nothing was evaluation. Everything was junk. There for years and years and years, nobody ever go plant one flower. And these vases we take out of the places. I used to go help my husband plant the flowers for the Memorial Day. I go there and I help. A citizen, a taxpayer. I'm here because I am a taxpayer. I have 3 properties in the city. The Green Lawn. Within Salt, who used to work at Oak Grove Cemetery with 12 employees, American. He was the only one Portuguese. And the bad words they used to say behind his back, and with him, listen, and all them thinking he was not understand what they're saying. He said, well, the Mayor Lambert need to be out of here because he got green loans, illegals, to be work for the city. And my husband come home full anxiety and frustration. And I told him, you smart enough. Bring your citizen papers. Tell those people you are American citizen. You are property in the city, you pay taxes, and you're not illegal. You are a citizen.
Yeah, and he's also a hard-working man. The fact is that, you know, I know people are saying, what's this got to do with this? But the fact is that your husband's worked there for 17 years. And the way this gets into our story is that I'm sure most of you have read that
the former chief of staff.
As the Herald News
Yes.
said, former chief of staff Chris Parayno named the Florida cemetery post. It'll be the 3rd position he's worked. And we talk about you know, obviously political hires and people that don't have any credentials. I'm sure that Mr. Parayno probably doesn't know how to pour a foundation, doesn't
exactly.
know anything.
He don't know how to measure a grave. He don't know how to make a foundation. Or touch the employees, because he's a big boss. Touch the employees how to make the cement and the sand to make a foundation to put a stone on. And sometimes people don't have no respect for dead people. This last week, or beginning this week, people with the class go there with the dogs. The dogs fight one another, go poop all over the cemetery. When they go trim next to the stones, you come home full of shit, dog. Where the police officer, where the people to give tickets, where the people to respect the ones who already die under the ground. Where the people go, the cats die, the dog's cat, they put them in running blankets, go make a grave in the nighttime. Put the animals down on top of the friends and the family members. When they rain a lot, the dirt, because they don't know how much dirt you have to put on top of the things you put in the dirt. There it goes when you cut the grass, there it goes, it come cats, it come dogs, it comes the vultures after the meat and the stinking for the animals. What about the people, when the people die? Being in the freezers for 1 year, and coming to be buried in the hot summer with the 100 degrees and 90 degrees, and employees there. Now the cemetery has 3 employees, and my husband former 4 employees to cut 200 acre lands all over the different cemeteries the city has, and around the more than 150,000 stones to trim to have a good clear. When the people come to see the cemetery, the dead people come all over the city from Florida, any nation, any states. The people move out of Fall River, and then when they die, they have the graves already by here in Fall River, and they come bury over here. Who cares who takes care?
Well,
the Green Honor is good enough to teach Nancy Smith.
No, we understand, and I know that. And people are going to go, well, you know, they understand that there are a lot of things that go on. We've seen some issues with but we get down to the bottom line here. There's an issue here about, you know that, you guys know my background. I've been a union guy for a long time. And there are about 2 things. It's about hiring unqualified people, and it's also about hiring from within. If you want good morale in your departments, you try to promote from within. And if you get something like a cemetery and you got somebody who's been working there, they should be considered. And even if there's somebody else that they say will give the job to, they should have far more qualifications than an individual that's friendly with the mayor. And I'm going to quote, if you haven't read Mark's column again, it's called Living in Dion, Hiring Your Buddies. That's the old Fall River way. And I'm going to quote a couple of things. You could call it like a baseball game. Here's Chris Parayno at the plate. The serious-voiced announcer Ray Filgel says, he's been up twice so far and he struck out both times. He said, then it says, career eyeing him from the mound takes signals from the taxpayers. What finger are the taxpayers holding up? Parayno swings, he connects. It's going 100 feet, 200 feet, 56,000. Holy snow owl, it's out of here. He said, don't forget, as a special promotion, the government center will raise your taxes every time one of Jazel Career's buddies hits a home run. And it says, don't forget the benefits. He said, with the benefits, this is going to cost around $300,000. So there's more than one issue here. There's more than one issue about not having a good career ladder, which hurts morale, and filling virtually every position with political friends and people who worked on your campaign, and then recycling them. There's an issue here about, and he mentions in this article about Buddy Faust Fiore. What's happened to Faust? He's disappeared into that vacuum, but he's still got a job. And when he's gone, he's disappeared into the woodwork, and those jobs don't ever go away. And if they stay and are hired again. We have a serious problem in this city with crony. Look, everybody knows nobody's naive enough to believe that this doesn't happen in government. It does to a degree. But as we've said before, this administration has brought cronyism to an art form, and they're unapologetic about it. I mean, it's so obvious when you see some of these hires. Absolutely no credentials. How many times when you look at we looked at the ice house guy that got in charge at DCM. We've gone through how many people at DCM. Now the other guy they just hired, he's taken his sick leave and his vacation time that's accrued, and now they got other people running DCM for him because he's got a new job and he's got a 6-month contract, and God knows how many weeks he's going to take off before he actually shows up for work in a department. So, I mean, look, taxpayers, we keep telling you this. Wake up. Wake up. Be infuriated by this stuff. You know, Mark talks about it. We talk about it here every week. And, you know, hardworking people, this city was built on the backs of hardworking people. You know, Mary Jo talks about it. I obviously understand that. My mother worked in Shelburne shirt and Stella Ann frocks for 55 years. And my mother worked in a sewing shop, and my father laid all the curb between Fall River and New Bedford, worked construction for years, then worked in a machine shop at Doro. My parents were blue-collar people. They lived through the Depression. They didn't have the luxury of going to college because they had to get out of school to go to work to survive. They were the children of immigrants, and the reality was they had to go to work. But they worked hard and they did something. And the fact is, this city was built on the backs of hard-working people. And when you have people that have been working there, know the job, and not even consider them, that's outrageous. It's outrageous. And then when you add to that, that every single time he hires one of these people, he's raising our taxes and our fees till, you know, there's no stop on that, and it's relentless. This is unacceptable, and that, you know, this has, something's got to change. And city council, and I know a lot of you are too busy kissing his butt, but the fact is, you better start putting your foot down, or I'm going to tell you what, the next election, hopefully we'll get some candidates that are going to pay attention to the taxpayers, and we're going to use a giant bulldozer and get you out of there.
And I want to tell you something else. The beginning this year, my husband, since was in the position alone, the Oak Grove Cemetery, I know people know. Now have no streets names. It's thousands and thousands of people, more almost around the 50 years, buried there. Then I have the files and everything. And my husband, with the good secretary, now he works in the cemetery. Brenda, a good human being. They try to put everything in files, the names, the streets. The cemetery is almost over with no place for you by graves to bury people. We don't see nobody, only my husband concerned about it. When this lot's gonna sell, where they're gonna start burying people? When this mayor gonna think about that? After the Nancy Smith, we have this guy from Rhode Island, Irai, Adriano Ponciano. Then go back to John Perry. After John Perry comes the chef letter. There's someone in the city hall, I told him, this guy, I know this guy, soon, the things that I heard, how come he's going to be in a position in Oak Grove Cemetery? Why do you know how to buy the cement, the cements for the grass? Why do you know how to buy the cement to make the foundations? Why do you know how to measurements and where the places where the people are buried and bought the lots to be buried? The ones who left here, because they have people to have buy lots for 20, 25 members, the family. Years ago, and North Main Street Cemetery, and Valentine Cemetery, the end of the year, the chef ladder, find a cemetery was in bad shape. Guess who went to fix the cemetery and put in good condition? The green one was not qualified to have a position in his office and teach the employees how to work. This is one of my fear and my offenders. I helped him 2 times in his campaign. I helped my nieces, not for him, because I respect that I know the parents, I know the grandmother, with all the respect, but I helped my nieces. But at the end, you be stubborn. In December, my husband went and talked to him. Do you believe that the working farmer, he works, he falls, he broke his shoulder. He don't even go to the doctor. He has all body, black and blue, because no big bosses in the office. Sometimes they have 5, 6 funerals every week, 3, 4 in one day. You have to have you have 3 people. You're supposed to have 4 people to hold the casket to go down, to put the top, the cement box. They make fun out of my husband, and I have 2 months school, 2 months prior, and I know a lot of people from the government, to the Senate, the state representatives that have to, and I want the people from DPW to know, you there for so many years, and people home lay off, never call back, and some positions open. Here I someone from outside, worked for the city for 2 months. Now, it have nothing to do with me, but because I'm a taxpayer and I have a heart and I know a lot of people from DPW working. Now, if you're not qualified, you hire a kid from the streets and you're going to give him a job, $65,000, because you have got parents or got mothers in the city hall. It's not right. It's not right. It's not fair. Have a consciously. If you're really decent Catholic, have a conscience. My husband got paid $17-some an hour for 17 years working in the city. Work like animal, because if he don't work, all the other people, the other three, they try when he's not there to run in the trucks back and forth, smashing the trucks, and then one smashed the truck and blame Abel, and Abel's home on vacation. No, open your eyes, go see with your eyes. Go talk to the employees in the workplace.
Well, they're not going to do that.
If you have a hot potato in your hands you cannot handle, throw the hot potato out. Give somebody else can handle the problem.
Well,
because whatever God comes in the air news, it's not me. I only copy put in the Facebook.
well,
I don't need my sisters to be against me. Because of the daughters work in the city hall. No. What's fair, it's fair.
well, I think that says it. What's fair is fair. Look, if it was a position, an engineering position, which required a college education, even though some people are smarter without college, because as the Tao Te Ching once said, knowledge is merely the gateway to the house of wisdom, because if you can apply unapplied knowledge is worthless. But the reality is that cemetery work, experience and knowing how to do the job is very important. And not only your husband, and I understand it's extremely personal to you, but
they have a work for me there too.
No, but I understand it's personal to you. But there's kind of a, well, there's not kind of, there's a pattern here.
Yeah, there's a limit.
There's a pattern from the city of totally ignoring, looking within a department to hire somebody, and most of the time, and getting one of their friends or connected people. And it's not only bad for the morale of the employees, it's bad for the city.
It's bad business.
Because it's bad business. And only in government do you see these people, because if it was private industry and these people didn't know what they were doing, they would last about a New York minute in these jobs. They wouldn't
I have
even get
another
hired.
thing to tell you. You know how much money when you start working in local Grove Cemetery you got paid? $13.43.
Yeah. Well,
Who won in the hell when the winter time, when the ground is frozen top of the grave, the machines cannot make a grave. You have to use jackhammers. You know how many times the Green Army use jackhammers? They teach the people how to open the grave to bury someone. And in the summertime, when it's 100 degrees, none in society we live. Cancer all over the place, skin cancer. You there working because you have to have the things for the city in good condition.
And now, Mary Jo, if I understand this correctly, that position was never even posted, correct?
Not that I know, sweetheart.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell things that I don't know about it.
Right, but from what I understand, there was no posting of this job.
Yes, because when there was some postings for the job, goes all over this office in the city. Goes for DPW, comes to office Oak Grove Cemetery, goes for Nancy Smith. Wherever you have an office from the city, you have the position there.
Right,
but sometimes the position doesn't even appear, and the people, the godparents already there to have the godchilds to go in.
Yeah, I know.
And the ones who's there for 20 years, 25 years, 30 years.
It's tough. It is. It's a shame.
And we know that, and the key to this is, Mary Jo, is you're just another case of what's happened over the, we see it all the time now, and especially with this administration. How many DCM directors have we gotten and swung in and out of? How many people in other positions that we really are unaware of? They get slid into these positions. And that's the thing. The key is that people who've worked, and unfortunately the way the system works is the lower paid people work the hardest. But, if this doesn't get you angry, people, Mary Jo's angry, and I don't blame her, but this is about a problem that transcends the individual, and we've got to get angry. Like Mark said, it's always the taxpayers that foot the bill, and we want the right people hired. So
and I wanted the people to know, if the union not help you, come talk to me, because I know with the office for the government in Boston, 800. In Boston, the office for the government take care of these problems and the workplaces problems. 800 Cambridge Street, Boston. Go there, a second floor is the government problems, and the third floor is for the factories problems. Come talk to me. I'll be there to help you and represent you and fight for your rights.
Thank you for being here,
Mary Jo. And hey, stay angry, people. Have a great weekend.
Be like Mary Jo. Get angry. That's what we want.